All right, welcome back, everyone. Hopefully you mingled and met someone new. How many people have learned something today that didn't know? Raise your hands. All right, perfect. Awesome. Who's having fun too? All right, that's all that matters. Perfect. All right, we got 4 more excellent speakers on the way. And we will kick off with our 5th speaker, Brad, who is a licensed architect with Carmina Wood Design. Specializing in historic preservation and adaptive reuse projects. When he's not working his architectural magic, you can catch Brad at Highmark Stadium passionately cheering on the Buffalo Bills. Go Bills. Let's hear what he has to share with us. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome on Brad.
I think it's not going to title slide, but we won't tell them. So my name is Bradley Everdyke. I'm going to be speaking, diving a little bit more into the gallery restoration that Tony had mentioned in the first presentation here. So as Tony mentioned, the museum was constructed for the Pan Am exhibition in 1901, the World's Fair that brought global attention to Buffalo. Designed by architect George Carey, the first Buffalo architect to attend the prestigious École des Beaux-Arts. The building was the only permanent structure created for the exhibition. Constructed as the New York State Pavilion, as Tony mentioned, the building can be seen in an aerial illustration of the Pan Am in the lower left corner, kind of where the dotted line is. The neoclassical revival building with its grand portico designed to reflect the Parthenon sits proudly overlooking Olmsted Zeller Park. In 1926, Carey expanded the museum into its current footprint. Note at the bottom of the portico there's a door. That door is the door that leads into the gallery we'll be speaking about. Inside, beneath the portico, we find an entry gallery in space known as the model room. The same attention to detail is shown here as is shown throughout the building. Door columns puncture the space, glass windows, doors, and floor lights provide light. It is not a basement, it is a lower gallery and entry. Fast forward to 2019, when we began this project, you can see the changes in the floor plan over time. The left, you have Carey's original 1926 plan. On the right, you have our plan. In our plan, on the right-hand side, everything below that red dotted line was closed to the public. In the 1970s, the decision was made to close that area because of deterioration. Looking at photos of what the gallery looked like when we started, the upper images here are that street of shops gallery that Tony mentioned. That was the only area that visitors could interact with. The lower images in the next slide are the original gallery in its current state in 2019. So as you can see, there's a lot of deterioration, but there was also a lot of stuff left. You just had to kind of dig through all the cobwebs. You'll also note there's, you see the new steel in the lower right. There was a restoration project for the actual surfaces of the portico in the early 2000s that restructured those. And then we also embarked on an exterior restoration of the portico prior to this project. So as you might see, our goals are pretty clear set. First and foremost, restore and reintroduce the Central Gallery to the museum. Number 2, provide ADA accessible bathrooms, also expand those bathrooms, and then also to introduce new MEP systems to the space. So where to begin? Like any design project, especially with restoration, we start with kind of what we had. We were lucky enough to have a bunch of George Carey's original drawings. We had the remnants from the building that still remained, and then we had photographic evidence. We used this to kind of interpret our design. One of the biggest design challenges, this might seem counterintuitive, is actually the new restrooms. The museum's restrooms at the time were elevated and were comically small and cramped. So we explored a couple different options for how we could expand these, but ultimately stayed with Carey's original diagram, which held the bathrooms at the northern side of this central gallery. So moving into our design for the gallery, the floor plan is pretty straightforward. Reopen everything as Carey designed, expand the bathroom slightly to get that space, get that what we needed. The more challenging bit was this ceiling, actually, because not only did we have to incorporate historic detailing, we had to incorporate all that new mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, and also lighting. Here you see some additional drawings. On the upper left is Carey's original drawing for that elevation between the bathroom and the gallery, and on the right is our drawing for the same. So we were very lucky that we could basically transfer Carrie's drawings into ours and go from there. Looking at the selected demolition and the construction process, we started by removing that wall, right? So that these top images show the process of that wall coming down. I will say that you work on these projects and you can imagine in your head what it will look like once those things happen, but really seeing it is really a different experience. You see here some more additional construction photos, restoration. The plaster we thought was in bad shape was actually salvageable. So all of the walls and the column capitals that you see down there that were so far deteriorated, you could barely make them out, was all restored. And these last kind of slides that you'll see here are kind of more glamour shots. You guys can all go down and experience this gallery once we're all set here. But I wanted to take a moment just to speak a little bit about the construction team that we had in this project. This project started just before COVID and was constructed throughout COVID, but you wouldn't know. As a lot of us practicing in the room know that that owner, architect, contractor relationship can be not so great sometimes. But I'm proud to say that was not the case here. Everyone who worked on this project was very dedicated. They understood the significance of this space, and I think that that's very clear in what was, in this completed project. For me personally, it was an incredible project to work on with the museum to really realize the space. Having worked with the museum previously and kind of getting to go into this space, your kind of jaw drop because you had no idea, that this space was there. It was just hidden from view for over 50 years. Here you see some before and afters. I think one of the biggest things for me is that the upper right-hand photo there, that glass door at the end of that procession, your view out to Mirror Lake. You can stand now back at the top of that gallery, look straight out, and you see Mirror Lake. Through the gallery, you see the park. Just as Perry designed it, and that's really a really powerful moment. And then here, this is a picture of that first exhibition in the gallery, the restored gallery. I think it kind of speaks for itself, and it was really a privilege to work on this project with the museum and help be a steward for this building. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Brad. Excellent job on that. All right, moving right along with our sixth speaker of the night is Mr. Will Kowalik. He is a lead cultural educator at Explore and More with a master's degree in American history and a wealth of educational experience. Will plays a crucial role in connecting the museum with the community and promoting diversity. Get ready for his engaging insights. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Will Kowalik.